This is Mech 160 programmable logic controls. We're going to press both buttons and run the system. Now we're going to look at the code. Our main program just calls both of our subroutines, which are cylinder movement and our light subroutine. Once we press both buttons, which I'm going to do, we can see that it activated the first two buttons. And what's happening when we press these buttons is the relay switches to normally open. This sets the first solenoid on, which then raises the actuator number 1. Then the raising of this actuator causes the bottom right sensor, which is seen here. This becomes normally closed. The right sensor being normally closed actually causes the light to become true and turn on. Switching over to the light tab of the subroutines, we can watch this occur. And as we can see, it's solid and it's true over here as well. And now once actuator 1 reaches full extension, this sensor right here, the top right sensor, it starts to activate the actuator 2. And we can actually watch that occur real quick. There it goes. And now we can see once the actuator 2 fully extends, its logic becomes false, deactivating the solid light. Now once this top left sensor is activated from the full extension of actuator 2, it actually tells actuator 1 to begin retracting. And this actually activates this blinking light feature due to the solenoid being de-energized. We can see that occurring as well over here. If we go to the lights. So here we can see this top left sensor is connected to this reset. When the top left sensor is activated from actuators 2 full extension, it begins to retract actuator 1, as we can see occurring, which actually activates this blinking light due to the de-energizing of the solenoid. And we can see that blinking light occurring here in our light section. Very simple way of looking at this light subroutine. The solid light turns on when the first actuator goes up and continues until the first cylinder goes down. This is kind of what indicates that it needs to go down. And if we want to take a look at some of the hardware used here, we got, of course, our PLC running. We have our lights, our buttons, which are switches in a sense. And then over here, we actually have relays. Relays are going to be powered by this power supply. The reason why these relays are being powered by the power supply is because the PLC does not have enough power to actually engage these or the solenoids. Over here we have solenoids. We have our actuators in the form of cylinders. And of course, power supply on the back, as you can see. We have a flow control on our hydraulics over here. And then just some manifolds just to get some connections. We have our sensors, and our sensors are wired a lot like our relays were. And I hope you enjoyed my hydraulic video, and thank you. In addition, here's a small table that was used to list to keep track of our I/O.